area and volume rates. So if your problem includes rates for either area or volume, you need to find the area or volume before you can either use a proportion or unit conversions successfully. In these examples, I will still use proportions since that's what we've been working on recently. So we have number 20. A recipe for a 10-inch pizza uses 2 cups of cheese. How many cups of cheese would we need for a 16-inch pizza? Round to the nearest hundredth. That would be nearest hundredth of a cup. Okay, so the key is that we're going to be putting cheese not just on the crust, that would be like on a circumference, but over the entire pizza. That's the area. So we're dealing with area on this problem. The area for a circle is A equals pi r squared. Now for the 10-inch pizza, the area would be pi. Now the 10 is the diameter, it's 2 times the radius, so the radius would be 5 inches squared. And I'm just going to write this 25 pi square inches. The square acts on the 5 to make 25, and acts on the inches to make square inches, and then pi. Similarly, the 16-inch pizza, the area would be pi times, the radius would be 8 inches, half of the diameter, squared. This would be 64 pi square inches. Okay, we can now work on a proportion. For the small pizza, we have 2 cups for the area. So 2 cups over 25 pi square inches would equal, I don't know how many cups for the large pizza, which would be 64 pi square inches. I'm going to use the shortcut of the cross multiplication. And this gives me 2 cups times 64 pi square inches equals x cups times 25 pi square inches. What we need to do to solve for x is divide by this 25 pi, and let's see what we get. So we have 2 times 64. There's a pi button on your calculator. And this is divide by 25 and the pi button on your calculator. I wonder if that's going to work. I think we need to put parentheses around the denominator to make sure that pi is in the denominator. 5.12. And x cups, this is 5.12 cups. So this would be 5.12 cups of cheese. So to create the appropriate proportions, we need to have area in the denominator in this case. And you could go with decimals instead of 25 pi and 64 pi, but then you'd be rounding in the middle, and we want to round final answer. This didn't need any rounding as far as to the nearest hundredth. It was already the nearest hundredth, so no rounding was required, but that would have been my last step, is to round. Go ahead and pause while you work on number 21. Number 21, the final answer should be $4,929.17. For number 22, an 80-pound bag of concrete provides 0.65 cubic feet of cured concrete. How many 80-pound bags of concrete will be needed to fill a rectangular hole that measures 3 feet by 4 feet by 1 foot deep? So we're talking about a rectangular hole. We're going to be filling up a hole with a volume of concrete. So volume is length times width times height. So the volume of the hole, that does not look like the word hole, does it? Would be the length, 3 feet, times the width, 4 feet, times the height, 1 foot. I said height, that's funny. And that is 12 cubic feet. That's the size of the hole. Now we have one bag covers 0.65 cubic feet. How many bags will cover 12? I shouldn't say cover, should I? Because that's an area word. Let's say that again. One bag will fill 0.65 cubic feet. X bags will fill 12 cubic feet. So we solve for X. We would have, actually, instead of solving this way, let's instead, now that we see the X, let's just multiply both sides by 12. 12 cubic feet. Because that reduces the right side to just be X. On the left side, we can reduce the feet cubed if we'd like. And the units are all bags. That's great. We get 12 times 1. I didn't need that. Divided by 0.65. 18.46 bags. Now it does not say rounding on this problem. 18.46 bags. But if I'm, it's an S, I would go with 19 bags. The reason why I would do that is I'd rather have a little bit extra concrete than have to go back to the store. If you have a full bag, you can return that to the store. I'd much rather have too much than too little. So I would round up, even though the rounding, if I said to the nearest bag, if you rounded to the nearest bag, that would be 18 bags. You would not have enough. You want to go with 19 bags. Make sure you have enough. But hopefully the problem has rounding rules for you. A lot of these problems don't, and so we might need to make some assumptions. Go ahead and pause the video and work on number 23, another volume problem. The answer you get should be approximately 76.72 minutes. No rounding in rules given, no rounding instructions. So I rounded the nearest hundredth, but watch for what the rounding says so that you get full credit.